Silburn, you're supposed to be doing Maxie.
Hey, I'm doing Maxie. I'm taking it to the max.
No, you're supposed to be interviewing him.
Oh, sugar, is it the time? Oh, no, let's go. Ah, awesome.
From the moment we're born and start this great adventure, we're always reaching for more. Friends, love, independence. But no matter where life takes us, there's always comfort in the place we call home. This place is financial independence. And when you get there, you'll never want to leave. Victoria Mutual, the home of financial independence.
Welcome to the SYLBOURNE Show. Joining us today, we have a veteran human rights activist and author, Maxie Hayles, with over 30 years of experience, and he has used his platform as an avenue to ensure and promote free speech with effective strategies to instigate positive change within a number of fundamental institutional, primarily within the area of race relations. And as well, we'll be speaking to him about his new autobiography, which is called Taking It to the Max. Welcome to the show, Maxie.
Hi. Hello, Silver.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm in Birmingham.
Eventually.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's life beyond the M25, there's life beyond London, so we had to come down to the Copthorne Hotel for the MBCC Awards, and we said, let me get Mr. Maxie Hayles. I call you a freedom fighter. Is that correct?
Yes, that's fine.
You're a freedom
I've been
fighter.
called many names.
You know,
So that's welcome.
Because these days now, I mean, years ago, we used to have freedom fighters. But what determined what makes them a freedom fighter? I think there are freedom fighters existing today as well.
Oh, yes.
You know? But I want to go straight into taking it to the max. Why now you're doing the autobiography?
Oh, well, let me put it to you this way. I'm very proud to tell people my age. I'm age 72.
Yes.
And if I'm not going to do it now,
Yes.
if not now, when? And by the way, it wasn't my intention to write
Yes.
my life story, my memoirs as such. It was by public demand.
Yes.
Silburn are fed up of people telling me for the past 10 years to write.
Yes.
You must write.
Yes.
And several people have let me down.
In the process of?
In the process of helping, because I'm not a good person at computer to
Yes.
type things, and
Yes.
my lawyer once referred to me as a dinosaur. you
Yes.
know. So I have to rely on my children at times. But people keep telling me, they said, Maxie, you've got a story to tell. I could tell a story about just one campaign.
Yes.
I could fill a book with that. But I decided that, look, I'm going to do it. And
Yes.
in fact, when I decided to do it, I didn't even tell my wife for about 4 months. She just saw me disappearing from the house and wondered what was up.
Well, go on.
Perhaps
What's going
thought I
on?
was having an affair or something.
Yeah.
Because one of the things is, so many times you decide to do something and you say, you're going to do it. You don't do it.
Yes.
And I just decided that this time, I'm just going to surprise people and
Yeah.
just do it. And Dr. Martin Glenn, who wrote the foreword, he actually, and if you notice, the book is dedicated to my mother,
Yes.
my dear beloved mother, Doris Amanda Lewis, who died 3 weeks short of her 90th birthday in 2014. And I tell you, it tore me apart. And she was 3 weeks off her 90th birthday, but I thought she was going to live forever. And Dr. Martin Glenn says, Maxie, you need to write.
Yes.
And sometimes you meet some academics and you'll be with them for a week.
Yes.
And you don't really learn anything from them. But with Dr. Martin Glenn, 5 minutes and you walk away pregnant with ideas. And he sat me down like a child in a schoolroom. And he asked me if I had any flip charts.
Yes.
We found some flip charts and he drew some stuff about conflict resolution and
Yes.
all different sort of things.
Yeah.
And it just went through my head. But I just took it, folded it up and went away with it. And after I saw where he was coming from.
Because in his foreword, he mentioned that the importance here is that an autobiography becomes an important document rooted within a social history context. All too often within marginalized black communities, the personalized stories and wider community narrative is at the mercy of a biased media subject to a lack of resource in outward, absent from the personal contributions to the community.
Yeah, because basically, you see, what we've got an history, and I mean black people, we've got an oral history. We talk a lot.
Yes.
We don't necessarily write.
Right.
We need to pen things towards posterity and legacy for the future generation.
Yes.
And I hope this book will contribute somehow towards that legacy.
Yes.
You know, when I'm dead and gone, it's there.
Yes.
You know, there's an old African proverb which says, until the lions write their story,
Yes.
the tale of the hunters will always be, you know, from their perception.
Yes, yes.
So the conquerors usually write the stories,
Yes.
and they write it their own way, and they distort it.
Yes.
So I'm saying, we all have a story. SYLBOURNE, you've got a story. Everyone has got a story. We must try to formulate that in terms of writing.
Put it in books as a
Put
legacy.
it in books as a legacy towards posterity.
Right. Now, you founded the Birmingham Racial Attacks Monitoring Unit, which is BRAMU, in 1989, and it consequently shut down in 2012 due to lack of funding. What exactly were BRAMU's core objective, and since it closed, has a vacuum created been filled by another organization that our audience can look to for assistance?
Hey, SYLBOURNE, well, they used to refer to me as Mr. BRAMU.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is that I was one of the founding members. And the BRAMU was established after the 1989 Home Office Interdepartmental Report,
Yes.
which identified the fact that racial harassment, as was I like to call it, racial terrorism, because that's what it is, was on the increase. And Birmingham was chosen because of its high black minority population.
So it was used as a sort of flagship, like as a pilot?
That's right. And also the uprising, stemmed on the back of the uprising of the 1980s. And I noticed I don't use the word riot, because it wasn't a riot. It was an uprising, because
Yes.
black youths decided enough was enough.
Yes.
And that's another long story. But since the inception of BRAMU, we work with over 30,000 cases. Over 30,000 cases we address, and but work specifically with 5,000, about 5,000
Yes.
live cases, casework in the victims and monitoring. And at the close, we had 250 cases on our book.
Yes.
And the government and the local authority did no impact assessment. They threw Sir William Macpherson's recommendations straight through the window. No impact assessment for us to prepare.
Yes.
You know, and so people were referred to the victims' support, and they're in bed with the police, and they just rubber stamp. It's a really toothless organization.
So are you trying to say that the vacuum and the void is still there?
Oh yes, oh yes. And interestingly enough, and we talk about Brexit coming in now. Since Brexit, or exit,
Yes,
whatever you want to call it,
exit, yeah.
because people don't really seem to know what it is,
Yes.
really. Only that Article 50 has been triggered, and
Yes.
what that means. Now, I noticed the other day when, after the referendum, the spate of racial attacks went up tremendously. Mosques were being attacked, individuals were being attacked, and I heard that in her wisdom, our new Prime Minister, Theresa May, decided to throw £2.4 million in the pot.
Yes.
What a joke.
So-
it's the tip of the iceberg.
So therefore, what it's saying here that in the weeks after the Brexit referendum,
Yeah.
Birmingham especially and the Midlands saw what the media reported as a tidal of racial attacks hitting the region, and prior to the new wave was the incremental progress in race relations in Birmingham across the Midlands that have deteriorated post the vote for this. So therefore, like in America, they're saying that the the killing by the police is not that it has increased, but it is because a spotlight is shined on it with the advent of social media. Is there any argument to say that because of Brexit and those who are against Brexit, they're actually flagging up a lot more of these racial attacks, which maybe has been happening all the while? I'm just asking.
The spate of attacks have always been there. But I mean, if we notice whenever take the war in Iraq.
Yes.
Whenever we've got international conflict, racial disturbances, racial attacks usually go up threefold.
Yes.
We notice that as a trend because we monitor these things. It's although it's there, it's given a green light.
Yes.
A green light has been given to the far right and the right wingers.
Yes.
To say, listen, this is my country. I mean, when you have language like that coming from Farage, people like those, and then you have other politicians, even the Prime Minister, fanning the flame of racism, you know, jobs for our people and all that. That doesn't help. Political language doesn't help, you know. And so therefore, the spate of attack was, the attacks were there. People were being attacked. But because of legislation, it's become more subtle. Yes. Right. So the racism has always been there, lurking there. But now that they've got the green light for this exit, so it makes it more. People feel much more. The racists come to the surface more, shall we say? So
going back to the BRAMU now, and for the purpose of your book and what is going to be seen in your book as well, what would you call the poignant event or moment when you decided there need to be an independent government watchdog for the management of solving racially charged attacks and the treatment of ethnic minorities? What prompted your activism and ergo brought about by the birth of BRAMU and similar organizations since, Maxie?
Yeah, that was because of the uprising, as I said before, of the 1980s and 1981, 85, it was felt necessary to establish the agencies such as BRAMU, Racial Attacks Monitoring Unit. The aim of it was to identify with the BME community and to be as a buffer towards, because we monitor because one, we monitor to get factual information, and we monitor to help government and to highlight the trends to stem these attacks. So we not only monitor, because if you monitor on its own, it's just like regurgitating facts. But alongside that, we case work. So we case work the victims. You know, and by that I mean is that you actually give physical but practical help to the victims. For instance, accompanying the victims to hospitals, to schools, because lots of the perpetrators are young people at school. To courts. Many people don't really realize that victims sometimes it's for the first time they go into a courtroom is because, you know, they're going to seek justice and so on. So that's where the casework is paramount. You know, as I said, we monitor for factual information and statistical reasons, but the casework is crucial.
Now, before we go into take the break, young people and your book, is that a tool which you believe that they will be gravitating to?
I hope so, because what I try to do in the book is try to educate. Wherever I find it possible. I talk about the use of knives. I mean, for instance, I suffered when I was younger in Jamaica because I mistakenly was playing as children, cowboy and Indians.
Police and thief.
And actually stabbed another pupil. And because of that, it had tremendous implication for me. My family my mother took me from the district and took me to another, about 10 miles away.
That's in Jamaica?
In Jamaica, to avoid that conflict. So there I tried to educate young people against the use of knives.
So therefore it's
how it's dangerous.
So therefore understanding conflict resolution from early days.
Okay, yes. I try to teach wherever. Just use some examples of my life journey and adventures, so that others can learn from it. That's one, and I hope, in particular, young people can benefit from my experience.
Fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching Part 1 with Maxie Hayles, taking it to the max. Join us next week for Part 2.
From the moment we're born and start this great adventure, We're always reaching for more. Friends, love, independence. But no matter where life takes us, there's always comfort in the place we call home. This place is financial independence. And when you get there, you'll never want to leave. Victoria Mutual, the home of financial independence.
Now tell me, Maxie, now, how was the process in getting the book off the ground?
Oh, wow. I could have written a story about that in itself.
Give me 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's a cost implication to get the book.
Yes.
It's also, as I say, I'm not good at typing things.
Yes.
And so I had to get someone to help me with the work.
They say the President of America is the most powerful man in the world.
Yes.
But then there are questions now, because is it the president or is it the presidency, the office?
It's also known that if the Jewish lobby, and I know nowadays it's like you can't even open your mouth about the Jews.
Yes.
And we're not going to be derogatory about it, but the reality is, if the Jewish lobby don't back you, you can't become president of the United States, or you don't survive. You know, I think that's another issue. Sometimes some other generation may have to change.
Yes, yes.
You know, so it's the presidency.
It's the
He has to toe the line.
Hi, thanks for watching our video. If you like what you see, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and share and like, and don't forget to comment, but first subscribe. Instagram, Twitter, and the full works. And I don't know if I did that well. Yes, I know you're going to say that.